Hi, Ben Roman here again, and I'm going to do my last speech for public speaking. The recap over the last 4 weeks. The first question asks, what were my feelings about public speaking and presentations prior to attending this course? Well, before this class, I was like, if I have to do a speech, if I have to, but probably won't like it, with a few exceptions. I did have prior experience for public speaking before attending this class, but it was 10th grade in a speech class similar to this format. Get up, perform, and present. The only difference was it was live and not online. In 9th, 10th, and 12th grade, my school required for the English class had to do a speech. 9th grade was informative, and then 10th and 12th were persuasive. The reason I didn't have to do one for the 11th grade is because it was the year I take the ACT. For the most part, I feel comfortable with my communication skills. I know I do speak fast from time to time, which I need to work on. Performance experience outside of public speaking, not really since 8th grade drama. Like I said, I had my speech class in 10th grade. I did some improv in 11th, 12th grade in my drama class, but I was on the crew and at the cast, so it wasn't as required as much. Challenges in week 1, you may ask, was to figure out good text that match my visuals appropriately. In week 2, my next speech was challenging, choosing a topic and exactly to get to exactly 5 minutes, with 15 seconds to slide. Third week was finding videos that actually match the criteria, basically a presentation for online use and not with the audience. And the fourth week was probably thinking the original product for the presentation. I do believe what I improved on mostly over the last 4 weeks was my lighting. When I started off with just the overhead lamp and the back lamp behind the camera, now I have 2 lights behind the camera and 1 to my side. I learned that both real bullets and virtual bullets can kill people. Not literally kill people with the virtual ones, because before my presentations were more bullets than pictures, as it were. So my policy from visuals from here on out, we leave text to minimal and use bullets if absolutely necessary. Were you nervous during any of my presentations, you may ask? I would be lying if I said no. I was a little nervous in all my speeches, more so than others. The ones where I was moving around a lot more, it's the ones I was more nervous in. How did my audience respond, you may ask? Well, Chelsea Kitchener said in my TED speech that I did good hit on the points that were required in the rubric, but I should try not to repeat myself and speak up a little more. Whereas on my industry professional, Chelsea Brown mentioned that she liked the points I brought out. Now, for the replies to my other classmates, they were all written replies and actually none video. The first was week I want to reply to was Jessica. I related to her in my industry, show production, and telling some of my fears as well. In her visual presentation, I told her that her visual aid helped calm her down, I could tell. Now, in the TED reply, I told Chelsea Kessner that her reply helped me give her props for her being calm. And for the next speech and best practices speech, I chose Tracy. In the night, when I told her that it would be mindful of her timing and her visual elements of her presentation. And on the best practice one, I told her that topics of her speaker sounded very interesting. Finally, in the industry professional, I gave Pravin, I believe his name is pronounced, a 5 times reference slide, and that I like the speech overall as a whole. There's also someone else I admire, George Lucas. I spent roughly an hour on each speech preparing the speech before actually rehearsing and actually performing it for the camera. Some technical difficulties I might had was my microphone. The one I have in my hand, for some reason, the plugin's only receiving mono and not stereo. So it may sound like only one side of the speaker's working. So I had to just work through it. Now, I had several problems with VidLure, so I finally switched to using solely YouTube for all my videos. Like this one here will be on YouTube. Probably the presentation I enjoyed the most was probably the industry professional, because I actually got to implement something pretty cool was with Walt Disney and his dedication video for Disneyland. Something I know a lot about Walt Disney, which is someone precisely. Release Ignite. I sometimes have trouble trying to persuade people, so I had a little trouble with that one. What I learned from my TED Talk this month was to be calm and relax. I could tell Bill Ford was really calm and relaxed in his presentation. From the Sir Ken Robinson speeches we watched at the beginning was to make sure I just keep my presentation creative, keep my audience interested. Nancy Durati, to use phrases and repetition on the slides, and a bunch of words, or mumbo jumbo. Gar Reynolds, I found out if possible, have handouts for your audience if you have lots of data. My biggest challenge is what should I include, delete, and what to leave out in the interest of time. The greatest strengths I had, though, was making sure my wardrobe was appropriate. What you may or may not notice is every time I had a Full Sail shirt or jacket on, and my lanyard. Even in this presentation, the road case on my shirt has the Full Sail logo, which I also have the road case shirt just as a symbol of kind of packing up my month in public speaking. I'd say probably his speaking clearly, which is more clearly than I normally do. Go back to the road case. I also have a picture of it too, so you can kind of see a little better the Full Sail implementation on it, as you can see here. So if I rate my presentation on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, I'd probably say 4, just because of my lowest grade was an 86, if I remember correctly. So my presentations for all future classes will be better from here on out, from using tips I've learned in this class, from visuals to speaking to wardrobe. Thank you for watching my speech, and thank you for listening to me this past month. As we would say in show production, stand by to fade to black. Fade to black.